We should preface this by saying it is now 2:30 a.m. my time, which means it's 1:30 a.m. Matt's time.
Correct.
This could get unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Down Once More podcast with Matt and Rayleigh. And we are doing a double feature for you, back-to-back episodes this month of the two of us. I know you've been getting a lot of FaceTime with Matthew lately. Probably as sick of his face as I am, but sorry.
You don't watch
But now
the
you get
mini
my face
episode,
too.
so you can't bitch about being sick about my face.
I have to sit here and talk to you for hours at a time. That's plenty of time to look at your face and get sick of it.
You can't bitch about that because we're expecting the listeners to do that and then on the mini episodes too. Make it seem like a giant inconvenience to you.
I love you, but people will get sick of your face. Just like they get sick of my face. They get sick of fucking Ron DeSantis' face. We're not going to bring politics into this, but I am sick of his face. People get sick of faces.
What about George
it's
Santos?
A thing. Anyway. Okay. Don't. Please. If you hope to have a productive conversation about anything else, let's not. And it's my fault. I did it first.
You did.
I mean, if you want to talk about Obama, I could talk about him all day, and I'll shut up. Okay.
Ooh.
Let's move on. What we're doing this week? What? He's got to figure out. What do you want to say?
You go. I'll say it after you say what we're doing this week. Tell them what we're doing this week.
Okay. What we're doing this week is we are discussing Chicago, the musical, specifically the movie of the musical, because it is an actual Broadway musical from many decades ago. And it has been redone. And the movie, I don't know when the movie came out, actually. I should know that. But the original Broadway play, I think was this. The original was like this, the story is based
on. The movie came
20s.
Out in 2002.
Shut up. Yeah. That. Okay, 20 years ago, dude. 21 years ago. Renee Zellweger and Catherine Zeta-Jones are the two heroines of the story, if you want to call them that. Maybe they're anti-heroines. Not the opposite of a heroine. No, not the drug that you put into your veins or other people put into their veins that I have definitely never put into my veins.
Man, sounds like you shot heroin, Rayleigh.
Shut up. I said I didn't. I said I never have. That's what I said. Those are the words that came out of my mouth. You heard it.
The Broadway musical came out in 1975. Fun fact.
So the story, the story that it was based on, the original play was not a Broadway musical. It was a play from like the stories from the 20s. The play came out in the 30s. And then the musical Broadway musical was written in the 70s. And now we have this 2002 movie. I'll be honest, I had no idea about any of those things until I watched the movie. I had never even heard of it before until I watched this movie, of course, because when it came out, I was, 12 years old? I don't know.
Yeah.
14 years old? Yeah. So how could I have known about a 1975 play? Anyway, that's what we're talking about. You were going to say something. You raised your hand like a little child in elementary school to be called upon. So I feel the need to acknowledge your presence in this podcast. What?
Well, I meant to mention this on last week's episode, and I debated mentioning in my vocal warm-ups, and now I don't want to wait another month. But I, this past weekend, was on a trip to St. Louis for a wedding I was in, and I saw there's a billboard on the side of the road for adult videos and spa. And I was very curious about what kind of spa they had at the adult video store. I don't think it was one that I actually would want to partake in. I don't know if that's just a fancy way for either glory holes or hookers or what was going on,
or like happy ending massages happening in that spa.
But adult videos and spa
that feels like a happy ending
like
kind those.
I don't think spa.
They don't usually go hand in hand.
Right, spa is not the right word for whatever was going on there. And also in Kansas City, there's a bunch of billboards for Jungle Law. I think this law firm was called Jungle Law. They were like playful billboards.
I feel like that's racist
things. No, well, I don't know. Is all
I
white
don't.
people on the billboards? Um,
It's a
I don't
racist law
know.
firm. Let's just go ahead and say it.
Yeah,
If you, if
it
listen,
was
if you
weird.
happen to be listening to this or watching this and you know that jungle law is racist, back me up.
Yeah,
If you don't, back me up anyway.
yeah, it was weird. It was weird. But there were like 8 billboards in
That is
Kansas
super
City
weird.
for jungle law. Said
And
harassed at work. Hashtag me too. Called jungle law.
jungle. Okay. Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
billboards are fun because wherever you go in this country, you tend to get like a sense of the culture via the billboards, right? So you go through Miami, everything like all the billboards are in Spanish. You're gonna get like the same typical billboards, but they're all in Spanish. You go through apparently Kansas, you have jungle law. If you go through Texas, except for in Austin, in the Austin area, you'll see a fuck ton. Like I'm talking about every 10 miles, you have another billboard, and all it says is just like
Choose
God hates
life.
abortion, or
Oh yeah,
like
yeah. We have those in
life
small town
begins at
Nebraska. Has those
conception,
too. Mm-hmm.
and like God hates people who abort, or like love
It's a
God,
child, not a
love
choice.
unborn children.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and a lot of them have the actual like the graphic picture of like an unborn fetus
Mm-hmm.
dying or being put to death or some sort of like
I haven't seen those.
mutilation.
I've just seen them in a
It is
sack.
disturbing. No matter what you
Mm.
feel or think or have to do with political feelings, things, and such, you look at that and you're like, Jesus, fuck, really, dude? It's like it reminded me of the smoking. If you go and like buy a pack of cigarettes anywhere else other than
Mm.
America, like anywhere in Europe,
Just like the
anywhere,
picture
it's
of
not
the lung
America.
cancer.
It has a picture of lung cancer on it, like a graphic ass picture of like dead lungs or like, you know, lung
Mm-hmm.
cancer and what the fuck it looks like when you're like hooked up to a ventilator or whatever. This shit is graphic. You're like, damn, I was just trying to have a smoke break, but now I feel guilty about my entire existence.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Texas. If you go through Mississippi, the billboard that you're going to see the most often, and if anybody who's in Mississippi is listening to this, please back me up on this because this is so true. There's one guy. His name is Richard Schwartz. And he has been having these billboards and these TV commercials since I was a fucking wee tiny little baby. And his slogan has never
Yes.
changed. And he's really country and he's like got a weird like speech impediment. So he says like,
Nice.
call Richard Schwartz. One call, that's all. And it's like he's like a
Nice.
personal injury
Nice
lawyer or something, you
catchphrase.
know, like crash your car, call Richard Schwartz. Injured at work, call Richard Schwartz. One call, that's all. Like
I
Jesus
like it.
Christ, dude. And he's
I like it.
everywhere. He's everywhere. He hasn't aged either. That's the weirdest thing. He looks the same now as he did when I was a child, and I'm concerned about like what juice is
Are you
he's
sure he's not just
consuming.
running the old commercials?
No, because you can tell the difference, the quality of a commercial. Like, listen,
Touche.
let me back that up.
Touche.
Let me back that up.
Touche.
Let me back that up. None of his commercials are quality, but there's a vast difference in what he shot in 1999 and what he shot 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? It
Mm-hmm.
still ain't
Picking up what
good,
you're laying down.
but it ain't 1999 either. So, anywho, right. So, billboards about jungle law.
Yeah.
Always a
Jungle
good
law.
way to kickstart our discussion about Chicago.
For sure.
I have a little like summary of it. I can go into that unless there's
Yeah.
something else that you want to say before we do that.
Nope. Hit me
We
with
should
the
preface
summary.
this by saying it is now 2:30 a.m. my time, which means it's 1:30 a.m. Matt's time.
Correct.
This could get unhinged. This is my second one of these, which is like 2 drinks per
Your second
receptacle.
cup? It's your second cup?
It's my second one. And I have zero tolerance for alcohol anymore, so
Dude, same.
this could get unhinged real fast.
This
Buckle
is
up,
my
folks.
third or fourth whiskey.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm just going to start singing the
Cheers.
whiskey lullaby soon. Clink.
Na-da-da-da-da. The Brad Paisley song? That's a sad song.
And Alison Krauss. All right. Oh, I should have put that on my list for Shut the Fuck Up this month.
Well,
I'll put it on for next
we'll
month.
do it again. Spoiler
Right.
alert, if you didn't watch last week's, Rayleigh won, so now I have to
You're not
challenge her
supposed to
again
tell
for
them that.
next
You're
month.
supposed to tell them
This
to go
is
and
the
watch it to
week
find out.
afterwards.
But if
I
they
said
haven't watched
spoiler
it,
alert
you should
first.
say, go back and see who won. Anyway, yeah, I'm the fucking victor, bitches. And go and see
Can't
how
show
I
hands.
beat
I
him
have
by
fucking fat fingers on camera.
many points.
Um,
It was a high
wasn't
tension
many,
game.
many.
10 points is a lot of.
Wasn't.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
calm the fuck
Moving on.
down with the many. Moving on.
I mean,
give
it was a
give
clean
us-
sweep.
It was
So
not.
Chicago.
Give us the summary of Chicago.
Okay. Here's the summary. In the roaring 20s, love the roaring 20s, aspiring chorus girl Roxy Hart and fading vaudeville star Velma Kelly each face trial for murder. Both as cynical as they are sexy, the two women compete for the services of shady lawyer Billy Flynn, who promises to make them media celebrities and win them acquittals. Okay? And then I want to say also that, like I said, I was alluding to it before, but this is the movie that we're talking about, based on the Broadway play from 1975, which was based on a play from the. Wait, where'd it go? No, that's not it. Hold, please. Here it is. From 1927, American silent crime comedy drama film, which was based on the play from the year before. And that play was based on a real live story about an actual woman who was put in prison for murdering her boyfriend and who was married to a man. I know.
No way.
So in 1925,
Really?
or whatever time, before 1925,
27.
this
Oh, yeah,
lady,
before
no,
that.
before, this
Yeah, that's when
lady
the thing.
offed her boyfriend because he said, fuck you, I'm out, bitch. And she was married to this like plain Jane mofo. And she went to trial and had like a flashy lawyer and like got acquitted. So that's a real story. And then somebody was like, you know what? We should make this into a play. And the person that came after that was like, you know what? I'm going to make that play into a silent film because it's 1926 and 27 and ain't nobody got time for like fucking movies with sound.
Oh.
1927, fast forward 50 years, 1975, and you have a musical written based on that film and play. And now we have the movie based on, I mean, this is just like a whole progression of one story. One lady who fucking murdered a douchebag. And she's been told, her story's been told over and over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, look, if you're going to murder, at least be famous for it, you know?
That's right.
So Roxy Hart in this movie, played by Renee Zellweger. Velma, shut up. Velma Kelly, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Billy Flynn, the flashy, shady lawyer, played by Richard Gere, who I have an never-ending crush on. Just like through the decades, have been in love with this man. Thoughts? Should we get into our first discussions about this movie? Should we talk about general ideas first? General feelings?
Yeah.
Do
you want me to go initial thoughts first, or you want to do initial thoughts first?
I have many thoughts to share, but I think back years ago when we first started talking about musicals, before we started the podcast, I said, "Have you ever seen Chicago?" And you were like, "No, I haven't." And I was like, "You should watch it." And you're like, "Okay." And then like blah, 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 fast forward for like a month or two, and you were like, "Yeah, I finally watched Chicago." And, cool. What'd you think? You're like, "Nah, didn't like it. Not my style. Don't care for the music." That's it. That's my memory of you and Chicago.
I said that?
I know. You would never, ever be so antagonistic about something that I loved ever. No. And I love with a caveat. I will say that. I love it with a caveat. Go ahead. Your thoughts.
My initial thoughts are we could be gearing up for Moulin Rouge round 2 because I think this is actually my least favorite movie we have done on this podcast so far. I think
was expecting that.
Yeah, Moulin Rouge is more like there are things I strongly disliked about that. And like I said, has grown on me over time. It still has some fun parts and some songs that are catchy and stuck with me. There's not a single song on this that I'm like, I need to put that on a playlist. I want to listen to that again. I didn't. I think it's like that vibe, that era, that style of music is just very much not my thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the performances are all pretty solid. Renee Zellweger though is an actress that she just sometimes annoys the shit out of me.
She's
And
irksome. She's quite irksome.
mhm.
And
And
her
it's
character is supposed to be really cute and like saucy and like mousy, and that's how it's written. And I don't think Renee Zellweger is any of those
no.
things. And she looks like she's acting the whole time. I
Hmm.
hate her for that part because I think she
Yeah,
just
she's
like
very like over. Catherine Jones is great. She's
oh,
great
she's
in it.
fucking
Richard Gere
phenomenal.
is great. John C. Riley is
Steals the
distracting to
show.
me in it. Like
Steals the show.
I feel like
Oh,
he
distracting like in a
also is
bad
someone.
way.
Yeah, I feel like he just
Okay.
like I get it's how that character is, but his just well, golly, Mister, very dopey, and talking like that. Like the superior musical that he's in is Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. It's
Mm-hmm.
much better than this.
Walk
Um,
hard.
um,
Which is
but
in
I
case you haven't seen it, is a parody of the Walk the Line
Walk the Line, the
movie
Johnny
about Johnny
Cash,
Cash, and it is
correct.
definitely worth a while. Maybe we should put that on our list.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we'll do
moving on.
that at some point. But yeah, I think like the production on it's very well. I'm always down for more Tay Diggs. Um,
Another man
so
I'm
like
eternally in love with.
yeah, so like he has a very small role in this, but good old Benny himself is in here. So I'm always down for some Tay Diggs. But is it Tay Diggs or Ty Diggs? It's Tay
No,
Diggs,
Tay.
isn't
You're
it?
right.
Okay,
Tay.
that's
Yeah.
what I thought. Um,
Taye.
yeah. The
I
fuck
got
was
freaked out.
that?
Well, I have a ghost in my house.
Yes,
It's
I'm aware.
important to preface this by saying I have a ghost in my house.
Uh
And
huh.
just before we started recording earlier, I had to stop talking to Matt because mid conversation, mid sentence, my TV in my living room turned on, and I thought there was someone standing in my living room talking.
Hmm?
So that happens all the time. I have weird shit that happens in this house all the like cabinets open, stuff comes out of the drawers. I have TVs turn on and off. I have lights turn on and off. I have the
Oh,
AC shoot up to like 90 degrees and then back down to like 60. I have shit happen all the time. And it's not just this place, it's everywhere I've lived. So I think the ghost is following me
yeah,
and
it's
not the
following
places
you.
that I live. It's definitely attached to me. But
Mm-hmm.
while we were just talking, and I wish I had a camera to show you, there's a vent that's like
Mm-hmm.
right there above my head, and it blows
Yep,
cold air
for
on me
sure.
the entire time we're here. And just
Ah.
now, while we were talking, it like sputtered, which a vent is just a passageway for air. It doesn't have an engine
Correct.
or anything in it. It's just a whoosh, that's where the air comes through.
Mm-hmm.
It's not closed; it's fully open, and it's sputtered, and like some like specks of things came out of it, rained down in this general area. So I think the ghost is spitting on me now.
Ghosts
Please don't
come.
spit on me, dude. Like,
Um,
come on. I haven't done anything to
yeah,
you. So
yeah.
anyway, back to this.
Back
I
to
will
this. Yeah.
say I find the men in this movie way more talented and way more interesting characters and way better at life in general, better at being good at stuff. And the movie is about women. The story is about women. It's about an entire, a whole like murderers row of prison with all these
Mm-hmm.
murderers, these women. They're all women, and they've all murdered some man in their life, and they're being put on trial for it. And so she's amongst a lot of women. The entire thing is women. There's only really two
Yeah.
main dudes, Richard Gere and John C. Riley. And because the two
Mm-hmm.
of them are such fucking phenomenal actors, they steal it for me because Catherine Zeta-Jones is a great actress, but her singing and dancing is like meh. And I think Renee Zellweger's voice is like okay, but I also read that this was her first real singing
Mm-hmm.
gig, so I guess she was like
Yeah, I
really
did too.
scared to like sing for the public eye or public ear. And so the director was like pushing her and was like, "Hey, I need to hear your voice. I know that you say you're a singer, but nobody's ever heard you sing." Like, so I guess she was really terrified of that, and this was like her first release. So I get it.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not her strongest in that moment, but her acting is bad too. Her face just like off.
I think that's
But
just
I
how
also
she
don't really
is, though.
love
Like,
her.
that's her
Period.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
don't
that's
like
how
Bridget
she is
Jones'
in pretty much
Diary.
every
I didn't
movie.
like.
Even in Jerry
What else did I see her
Maguire,
in?
she's still the same. Like,
Yeah.
she's the
She's just kind of
same.
always
Yeah.
annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just her face. Like, what is it in Step Brothers when he's like, I don't know, just have one of those faces. I just want to punch
Mm-hmm.
it so hard. Just want
Mm-hmm.
pa 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 pa. That's what I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! My leg just fell. Oh god, the ghost is really angry. I'm sorry.
Because you were threatening it.
Don't hurt me.
Your
I
lighting doesn't
wasn't. I
look
was
like
just
it
asking it to
changed at
stop
all.
putting. But it fell, and I caught it,
Oh.
so it's fine now.
Ah.
I
Good
think,
catch.
unless it messes with
Yeah.
me again. Please don't. Goosebumps. Ooh. Anywho, those are my thoughts, and then I think the music. To answer what you were saying, my thoughts
Mhm.
on the music are hit or miss. There are several songs that I would like to just skip right through.
Yeah.
I think Roxy Hart, the song, I think it's called Roxy Hart, like where she's like Roxy Hart, and she's on
I think
stage and it's
so.
just her singing. Hate that song. Hate it. Ugh. I don't even like all that jazz in the beginning where it's just like I don't like the way
Yeah.
the song is written. I don't like the way it's performed. I don't like the lyrics. I don't like the sound of it. I think it's just like move
Yeah.
along. And I don't really want to know what it means to have a place that is whoopee.
Yeah.
No,
I'd
a
rather
whoopee
listen
spot
to
where the gin is cold and the piano's hot. I just,
Big
yeah, I'm not a fan of
Whoopee
that either.
is
But there are a
fucking.
few songs. Right, which is what I thought. But I guess in the 20s, that wasn't the case. I guess that was the case in
Ah.
like the 70s. So the 20s, whoopee was like awesome. Like, whoopee.
Oh.
Like, this place is
Like gay
whoopee.
used to mean happy and now. Like that.
Correct.
So like we listen to old
Correct.
things and yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly.
Whoopi was in that.
So I think, oh, sorry, I have to pick up my pillow because things don't like me in my house.
Mm.
But there are some songs that I do love. I love When You're Good to Mama. I love the Cell Block Tango is my go-to. Like that shit is banging. I love that.
I like that one
What else?
for the most part, but the part where then it goes back and forth with when they're just talking with it, and I mean
Yeah.
the choreography is neat, but like it's not one that I would throw on a playlist or anything. Like it's neat to watch played out, but like, for me, like the one
You
that
don't
I
like the chorus
liked
even?
from here.
He had it coming. He had it coming.
I didn't hate
No?
it. Like I didn't hate the chorus. The chorus, like that chorus is the first catchy one in there, for me. But then the verses
Yeah.
I don't care for. I like the chorus, but the verses kind of lose me. So as a whole, it's I did really like We Both Reach for the Gun.
I love that one.
Like that one I do really like. The choreography is really well done, and the staging and everything around that number, like that's my favorite one from the show. But other than
Yeah.
that, like the Mama's Good to You one, I thought it was good, but it's like I don't know. Like it's just like I said at the beginning, like that the vibe, the style of music just isn't as much my thing. Like I do think the standout of this is like the staging and the choreography of everything. Because, like you said, some of the vocal performances aren't the best, and it's very unique how they tried to capture like the stage performance and stage presence with some of them, like with Tay Diggs, like introducing things and them
Yeah.
doing the numbers and everything like that.
And
And
they
I
do
had
that
looked it up and
like
saw
half on the stage, half living the life in reality
right.
kind of like mix. I
Yeah,
like
so it's
that.
interesting. That there's 5 songs that were cut from the Broadway version, though. So there's a
I didn't know that.
significant reduction in songs from the Broadway version to the movie, apparently. I didn't go
Interesting.
through and listen to them or anything like that, but I was looking at some like comparisons between the two. Said that there's 5 songs cut out. And there's also like the storyline that main reporter is actually a man in the play, in the musical.
And they make it a remove. They
Things
make it
like
a
that.
woman to make her sympathetic to women in the
Well,
movie.
it was a man um, cross dressing as a woman that was wanting to be a woman, and Richard Gere's character in the whatever, I forget the lawyer's name, but like he calls um, him out and brings attention to him, and then there's a whole thing about that. Apparently,
Rude.
like a little small side plot. But yeah,
I think it appeals to a. I love the 20s style. I think that the
Mhm.
dresses and the like outfits and the costumes that they wear are super cute. And I have
Yeah,
gone as a 20s flapper for many Halloweens because it's just like a
yeah,
fun look.
yeah.
Um,
Me too.
and what else? But I'm not a fan of just like, I don't know, just like you said, like the vibe of the music is not great, and then the performances are not great. I think that it was cast wrong, except for the
Yeah,
men. Leave the men out. But I think it was cast wrong. I think Catherine Zeta-Jones is not, she's an amazing person and an actress, but I don't think she's right for the singing dancing role. And
that's fair.
she also looks huge in those costumes. It's not fair she's standing
Yeah,
next to like an almost anorexic level of Renee Zellweger before she was like mature and like bigger. She's like pencil thin, ribs sticking
yeah,
out, collarbone sticking out in these tiny little dresses. And then Catherine Zeta Jones is like a normal sized woman. And she looks, I don't know if it was the cut on her, if it was just that the comparison with Renee, but like she does not look attractive in those dresses and those outfits. And I think that's unfair to her because she's a
yeah.
fucking banging body. So anyway, I'm not a fan of that. That she
That's
doesn't
fair.
look great. They didn't play to her assets very well.
Yeah.
I think it was just kind of like a miss with it when it came to her.
Okay.
She has a decent voice and she's a very good actress, so she carries herself well. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, that's fair. So if you I will say I was surprised by Richard Gere. I felt like he did a really good job
he's my
throughout
boo.
it.
I love him so
Like
much.
he was the one that was surprising to me. Like his performance throughout, and especially throughout all the court scenes and everything,
Yeah,
how he's playing those off. I thought he did a really good job. He was a standout to me. Like I said, John C. Riley, I his
I
like
love his song though. Cellophane,
see, I
Mister
don't.
Cellophane. I love
I
that
didn't love
song.
it. The first time I heard that
He's
song was on Glee. Kurt sings it in Glee.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but like John C. Riley in it is just like playing the dope. He seems like we were criticizing Renee Zellweger for it, where she seems like she's acting. He
yeah,
hardcore seems like he's acting, and I feel
yeah.
like it
I can see
doesn't
that.
seem as natural, and so it can be kind of just. It was kind of distracting to me. But like I said, it was. I was trying to because I knew when the first time I watched this, because this was only my second time watching it. I I wasn't feeling it. I didn't really care for it, but I'm like, I'm going to go into it with an open mind and give another chance when I rewatched it for
You
this one.
better.
I did have the same feelings.
I
So
get it. I get it. I get it. It's like it's. I am not in love with the entire thing. This is not a
yeah,
Moulin Rouge for me. I'm not like, holy
yeah.
fucking shit, this is the greatest thing ever. And if you fucking say anything bad about it, I will murder you. It's
See,
not
I thought
that.
it
This is
was.
like a good, good, meh, awesome, meh, okay. Kind of as
Yeah,
I go through it, I'm like, this is pretty good. And I will listen to this song and like,
yeah.
okay, I like the way they did that. And I also saw Chicago recently
Oh yeah.
here locally and like
How
a
was that?
off Broadway version. It was it's a I think it's a local troupe that like travels through
Hmm.
Florida, so it's not like a
Okay.
national troupe.
It's not like the North American tour company or anything like
No,
that.
yeah,
No.
this was definitely more of like a lower budget
Gotcha.
production, and the stage was pretty small. I thought they did a good job with the space they had, but it was very. it was like a kind of a Hamilton situation where they were like, sort of like reusing their
Mm,
same cast members over and
yeah.
over again. So when you like
Yeah.
see somebody recognizable, you notice that they're the same person. They're this person, then they're that person, and this person. So if you're paying attention to that, you'll see it. But they have a small cast. I appreciate that they have to fill the roles. I thought that watching it was hard because I'm used to having that like on stage versus like reality sort of mix that they have in the movie,
Hmm.
and on a small stage that's very hard to do.
Yeah.
There were very, very few props and very few costume changes and very few like
Mm.
there was no scenery change. It stayed the same set the whole time, which was
I was gonna say,
disappointing because you have a prison scene, you have a court scene, you have her life and before she goes to prison. You have a lot of
yeah,
different things happening on different locations in the story. And so it was disappointing that I was like, oh, we have to use our imagination here. Okay, so
yeah,
okay. Thank God I already seen it because I knew what was going on. But I think it was
right.
confusing for people if you'd never seen it before. I was disappointed by that. But it's funny, the Billy Flynn character, the lawyer character in that show, stole the
Hmm.
show by far, just like Richard
Oh,
Gere. Like
really?
he was the best. I think it's the character. I think you have to have somebody good, and you have to
Yeah,
have somebody good for this part.
charismatic, but
Yeah,
kind of scummy at the same time. Like they
but
can do
still
that. They're
likable
not too,
somehow.
yeah,
Yeah,
likable, but not too like. Well, I don't know.
not a good person, but still likable
Right,
somehow. Like
right,
because
right,
you
right,
have to be able, he has to be able to win over the crowds, right? So he can't be a dick,
right.
but he has to be kind of like schmoozy a little bit, which makes you kind of go, ooh,
Hmm.
no, not a fan. But somehow still like you just like want to hang out with that guy.
Yeah,
I want
I can
him to
see
be my
that.
lawyer if I ever get in
So,
trouble. Like I want a Billy Flynn.
oh, for sure.
I mean, the next time
So
I murder my
question.
boyfriend, I'll definitely call him.
So we were talking about casting. We feel like it was miscast.
Yeah.
If you were casting a revival or a reboot, like a new movie of this today, if they were going to do a new one, who would you cast as Billy Flynn, and then Renee Zellweger and Catherine Zeta-Jones characters,
That
Roxy
is
Hart, and what is it, Velma something
Velma Kelly.
Kelly?
That's hard. For Velma, you need like a saucy, kind of a little washed up, but still
I have a
really
pick for
hot.
Velma.
Oh.
Idina Menzel. I could see her pulling that off
Oh, she
really
could
well.
totally do
She
that. Oh,
has a
that's a good
powerful
call.
voice. She has that kind of like
She can
sultry
be
look and
sexy.
vibe. She can be
She's not
sexy with it.
young, but she's not old yet. She's
Right.
like kind of past the like young and hot, but
The
still kind of hot,
prime.
like a mom hot kind of
Mm-hmm.
stage. Yeah. Yes, I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I was gonna say Anna Kendrick for Roxy Hart, but I
That's
think
what I was
she's
gonna say
too.
too.
That's what you were gonna say?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, it's because we both love Anna Kendrick and we just want to put her
Mm-hmm.
in everything. I would
Yeah.
watch her every single day if I could.
I'm not sure she could pull off like the 20s accent like that. Kind of like I don't
I
know.
think
I haven't
she
seen her
would
in many
be.
period things.
Here's the problem. I think that she would be still so Anna Kendrick that it would be hard for her to
That's
like
fair.
remove that part of her personality because every other movie and really every other part she's played, she kind of has that like,
Very
"Meh,
bright,
I
bubbly,
talk
and
like this.
cheery kind of.
Yeah, and she's like kind of sarcastic a little bit, but like
Yeah.
in a funny way. She has that sort of like derisive personality that I think would be hard for her to pull away from. But I'm not saying she couldn't do it. Very talented person.
Mm-hmm.
Who could be Billy Flynn? I honestly think you could have put Tay Diggs in that role and he would have killed it because I
Yeah.
love Tay Diggs.
Agreed.
I was thinking for Amos, the husband, somebody that you see that's kind of like dopey and silly, but like I don't know, he has to be kind of doughy too, like his build has to be kind of like round
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not fit, So it's hard to find Broadway actors that look
What
like that
about
because that doesn't exist.
what about like Josh
See,
Gad? Like
I
I wonder about him, but I don't
love
know if
him.
like with his voice it could also like he has more of a high pitched kind of like squeaky.
Yeah.
voice. I think he could still like
I
he
think he
has a
could do
good
like
voice. I think he could
the
do it,
sad
but he's
sack
kind
kind
of
of
like
character.
dopey, kind of.
I think that's a good call.
Maybe
I think that's a very good call. And in that respect, you just made me think of Gaston. You could put Luke Evans in Billy
Billy
Flynn's
Flynn.
character. He could totally be
Yeah,
Billy Flynn.
I'm
I
trying to
love him
remember
too. I just
because I
love
only
all the men
saw
who
the
sing.
live action Beauty and the Beast once, and I'm trying to remember where his was his vocal performance pretty strong in that.
Oh my
Like,
god, he's
could
an
he pull off the?
amazing singer. Now he's been in like a bunch of like either Broadway or off Broadway productions, and he's been
Okay.
singing. He did like the what's the one with what is his name? Boy George musical.
Mm,
Taboo, no,
I don't know.
whatever. He's in that one. He's also in
Okay.
another version of Les Mis. It was
Okay. S-
and a Love Never Dies version he did.
Oh,
Oh,
see,
he's an amazing voice. Oh my god, fucking amazing.
s- two of my go-tos when I'm picking like musicals are like Jeremy Jordan, but I don't think he would be a good Billy Flynn. I really like Jeremy Jordan. He's not right for that character at all.
Yeah.
The other one that I thought of that could be decent, but I think he's too young is Aaron Fiet, who is in like
Oh yeah.
Schmigadoon, and he was in the Moulin Rouge on Broadway. Like he was Christian on there for a very long
Yes.
time. And he was in Les Mis the movie.
Did he do Wicked too?
That one. I think he has done a run in Wicked, but like he
I
wasn't
think
part of
so
the
too.
original Broadway cast or something. But I
Or
feel like
maybe not.
he has played a role in Wicked. I don't know if he was Fiero or not. I could see him
Yeah.
as Fiero, so it could just be in my head. But
Yeah.
like I feel like he kind of has a little bit of swagger and confidence, but I think he's too young. I think you need someone that's more like closer to middle
Yeah.
age for that role. And I think Luke Evans, like he's a little on the younger side, but he can pull off that like a little more grizzled and
I
weathered
think yeah, you
in
could
that
you
in
could
that
dress him
range.
down a little, make
Right.
him a little more 20s chic.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is like that is to say basically you've been drinking your whole life and so your skin is a little saggy, you've got a 5 o'clock shadow and you wear a big wide brimmed fedora hat and
Right.
like that's your 20s look.
Right.
just need a little bit of sad life written into those beautiful cheeks of
That's
his.
right.
And then
That's
it's
right.
sold.
That's
Anyway,
right.
I
That's all you
think
need.
I think that we've got an amazing cast here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better than the cast of this movie.
Yep.
And as I was reading this article about the director who pushed Renee Zellweger to sing, was like,
Yeah.
I know you can sing, you need to do this. Apparently, he was like obsessed with having her for the role. Like he was like, this is the woman I need to be Roxy Hart. She is everything. And like, so either it's a flaw in your eye or mine. And let's be real, ain't nothing wrong with my eyes. So you fucked yourself on that one. When you got tunnel vision on her? Her?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Like, of all the people? Could be anybody. Maybe she was cheap because she was still young and new and like kind of not fresh on the scene. Maybe she was cheap.
That could be.
And Catherine Zeta-Jones at that point was kind of past her. Well, she might have been right in the downward cycle
Yeah.
of her career. Because I
I
feel
don't
like she
know.
was in a lot of like late 90s, early 2000s movies. And then she kind of just fell off the face of the earth when she
Yeah.
got to be like mom age.
She really came to my attention in the Zorro movies.
Oh, yeah.
Those then.
See, and so what year was
Antonio
that? That had to have been
Banderas.
in around
I
2000,
feel like
right?
that was late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s. Let's see.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I
that's
was
where I was
thinking.
first introduced to her too. And then Say Anything,
Let's
she's in that
see.
too. But
1998 for The Mask of Zorro,
there
and
you
then
go.
Legend of Zorro was 2005. So yep. You know who else could potentially be good as Roxy? I haven't seen her in a ton of things, so maybe she's actually garbage. But I'm thinking just visual wise and kind of aura would be Diana Agron. She played Quinn in Glee. She's
Hmm.
blonde. She had
Yeah,
a
yeah. I remember
fairly
the blonde girl
solid
from Glee.
voice and
Yeah.
kind of like she has like a little bit of that innocence look, but also could have a little bit of an edge to her. She
Mm-hmm.
could potentially be good.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, one note I had on here was like at the beginning, before Roxy kills Fred. I'm like, that, like how Fred is like acting. He's like, you touch me again, I'll put your lights out. It's like back then, just beating the women was kind of the norm.
A regular
Like they
Tuesday.
just, it's like, she got out of
She
line.
touched me and I socked it to her.
Yeah.
Pow, right in
I'm
the
like,
kisser.
yeah.
I mean, he went from fucking like, well, fucking. He went from fucking to
Yeah.
like, I'll fucking kill you in 0.3 seconds. He was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm done with you. And also,
Peace.
he'd been doing it for months. It wasn't like it was a one time thing. He'd been doing it for
Yeah.
months. So like somewhere along the way, he was like, this bitch is used goods, but I'm gonna hit it one more time, and then
Yeah.
I'm out. And she's pretty clingy and
Dumb.
needy, so I get she'd be
Oh yeah.
annoying as hell. But like, does it justify you being like, fucking kill you, bitch? Like,
Right.
it seems extreme, but whatever.
Yep.
I love how she didn't even think to like worry about this story that she made up with like
Right.
Amos. He's an idiot, but I love that he's an idiot because it
He's
makes it so that she can just like run her game and he's totally
And
blind
he's
and
like,
oblivious to it.
so when's the baby coming? There's no fucking baby,
There
you
ain't no
idiot.
baby. He's
And
so
I'm like,
dumb. I
don't be a
love
dick to him.
it.
He helped you get off with this thing.
He's so sweet and so stupid, and I love it.
And she never really cared about him. She just
Of
cared
course
about
not,
herself and then Fame.
because he's a dumb fucking puppy dog. He's just like,
Yep.
oh, you're annoying. Like, get away from me. And I actually like the way that they did the transition when he's telling the story about what happened to Fred Casely to the police, and he's saying,
Mm-hmm.
so I came in here, right, and I saw this. It was a guy come in the window, and I said, I bought it. And then when I had him, and then she's over there going like, he loves me so, this funny hubby of mine.
Right.
And then like middle of the way is like, name of deceased, Fred Casely. Fred Casely, how can he be a burglar? He sold us our furniture. And then she's
You're
like,
right.
oh shit.
Fuck.
In the middle of the song, like, that dummy stupid thing. I hate him.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah,
doesn't
I like that.
She doesn't
I
even try to like cover her tracks, you know. Her neighbor,
No.
her neighbor's all up in her grill.
I've seen everything. I'm like, you idiot. People are
I
dumb
mean,
though.
But did you know that both Richard Gere and Renee Zellweger both won Golden Globes for Best Performance in a Motion Picture that is a comedy/musical category? Both of them won
Richard
Golden
Gere,
Globes.
Justified, Renee
Yeah.
Zellweger. What? Like
I
it
think
was
that
fine.
that Golden Globe
it wasn't
is for like,
necessarily bad performance.
no,
but it had
I just
to have
think
been
it's
a light
like,
year.
I think it's that it's a Golden Globe for being a decent looking, decent singing, decent acting girl in a short dress category.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up who all was nominated
I
that year
mean,
because now I'm curious.
oh, and can we talk about Queen Latifah in there randomly? Like, what the fuck is that shit? First of all,
she
she is a
pops up in a few
terrible actor.
musicals.
Like, I mean,
She's not great.
terrible. She has a badass voice. Everybody knows that. She's Queen Latifah. Badass.
2002 was when Moulin Rouge came out.
Holy shit.
I wonder if this was part of the.
Why are you looking at Moulin Rouge?
Well, no, I was looking up at the Golden Globes for that year. This, I feel like. Are you sure Renee Zellweger won?
Apparently,
Because she was a nominee. Yeah, let's see. Okay, it was. So the Chicago fell in the 2003 Golden Globes. She was also a nominee in the 2002 Golden Globes when Nicole Kidman won for Moulin Rouge, apparently. Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. I was
Well,
trying to
Nicole
see. I'm like,
Kidman earned it.
who else was nominated that year that should have won over here?
That's
Um,
my grandpa and the dog on my front lawn and Renee Zellweger.
right.
And the Golden Globe goes to the dog on my front lawn.
Yeah.
No,
Chicago
I
won the Best Picture musical and comedy. Oh, My Big Fat Greek Wedding came out that year. Um,
that is a classic. Good stuff.
never seen it. Okay, so other
You've never
nominees
seen
that
My Big Fat
year.
Greek Wedding? Oh my god, it's so stupid.
So
It's
Catherine
really
Zeta-Jones
fucking
was
culturally
also
insensitive.
nominated.
And
So
she
Catherine
didn't win.
Zeta-Jones, she didn't win. Renee Zellweger won. Nia
I mean, of those
Vardalos,
two,
Goldie
really?
Hawn, and Maggie Gyllenhaal
Oh,
were
well,
nominated. Oh
that's their
man, Richard
competition.
Gere beat Nicolas Cage and Kieran Culkin and Hugh Grant and Adam Sandler. Those were the nominees for the best actor. Richard Gere,
Oh
Nicolas Cage,
god.
Kieran Culkin. What would Kieran Culkin have been in
That must have
2003?
been. I'm thinking that was like the Father of the Bride series or some
Igby
shit. Like,
Goes Down,
nope. Oh
apparently.
god. Ain't nobody watching that shit. Okay,
Igby
look.
Goes Down. He was young then.
In 2003, Kieran Culkin would have been like
Yeah,
15, maybe 19 max. I don't know.
he
But
was young.
no, poor
I
kid. He's
thought it
always
was
going to be
Nicolas
Macaulay's.
Cage nominated for.
And Hugh Grant?
Yeah. Nicolas Cage was nominated for adaptation.
Oh,
Hugh
okay.
Grant was nominated, which I've never seen that. I don't know what that is.
I mean,
Hugh
I hate
Grant.
Nicolas Cage, but that movie is pretty cool.
Hugh Grant was nominated for About a Boy.
Oh.
That was that year.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And then
That's his, like, yeah, no.
what Adam Sandler movie was nominated? Oh, Punch Drunk Love.
Okay, because his only serious role ever.
Yeah.
Semi-serious, anyway.
Yeah.
Only time he didn't act like a complete and total dick
Right.
bag on TV. He got nominated.
Oh. The movie that Maggie Gyllenhaal was nominated for in the musical comedy one was Secretary, which is the like
That's the one where he like the
she's like having an affair with her
shitty
boss,
ass,
and
like,
there's like a bunch of
abuse
sex.
involved.
That is
and, like,
not a musical or a comedy. Like I'm
tough
confused.
times in 2003.
Apparently, so now
for those judges.
Now I see. And Goldie Hawn was nominated for The Banger Sisters. Never heard of that one. And then Catherine Zeta-Jones for this, and then Nia Vardalos was from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So maybe now I do see why Renee Zellweger won. Like, I guess,
I mean,
those were the nominees.
Yikes. But still, you put her next to, I mean, even if you took away all the other dumbass people in the other movies, you put her next to Catherine Zeta-Jones, and you really think Renee Zellweger did a better job?
But see, the argument I would make there, like, even though Catherine Zeta-Jones was nominated, so it kind of negates this, I feel like Catherine Zeta-Jones is almost more of a supporting role than a lead role in it.
But that doesn't mean, I mean, I don't think the category is for lead role. I think it's just best performance.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how Golden
if she's
Globes,
nominated, she could have won.
like Academy Awards, one of them has like Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah, the Oscars.
But I think that one, the Oscars, but the Golden Globes.
Is the category is just best performance, and she was nominated, so obviously she could have won. But
yeah,
I don't understand between those two why you thought one would. I don't know.
Maybe
anyway,
we're just haters.
I don't know. Maybe she just annoys me, and some people love her. I don't know. But there's something about her face.
Yeah.
And then there was like maybe 5 years ago, I want to say, ish.
Plastic surgery.
Renee Zellweger was all over the news again because she got plastic surgery in her face, and she
looks completely
was a different person. I mean, I don't know if like the aliens were the ones that applied the plastic surgery, and they were like, "Here's some of our DNA while you're at it.
She didn't look the
Here's
same.
silicone and alien DNA, and mix it up." Holy shit! I was like, I can't even see her in there.
Yeah,
it's rare that one can change one's face so drastically, and she did.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think she was unattractive before. I think she's really unattractive now, but I think she was kind of cute before, but like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Ew. Um,
Yeah.
some interesting things that I noted while I was watching it, because I always watch every movie, everything I watch, I have subtitles on, always,
Oh
because
yeah.
I'm obsessed with knowing exactly what they say. And I
Fair.
feel like am, I can't hear the movie unless it has subtitles on. I thought it was interesting because I can't remember what streaming service I watched it through. I don't think it was Amazon. I think it was one of those like side ones, like Vudu, or like one of the free ones,
Yeah.
Pluto
This
or some
isn't
shit. Like
streaming anywhere right now. Like you
I
have
think I
to
rented it through
rent
one of
it.
those like
Yeah.
Voodoos or something, like whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the, or maybe it was, no, it wasn't Peacock, because Peacock I get, but like I don't know. It's one of the lower end
Yeah.
ones, and I didn't realize it, but I think that they might also be like regulated as to what they can and cannot say or show.
Hmm.
And so it was a very interesting experience watching this with subtitles, because the movie was the movie. They didn't change anything that they said, but they
Mm-hmm.
changed the subtitles. So it didn't match what they were saying. And they like, I don't know if they tried to like clean it up. But one instance is
Weird.
like, I think Billy Flynn is when he's talking to Amos, the husband, and he's trying to convince him he needs to give him $5,000 to support
Yeah.
Roxy's
Yeah. Yeah.
case, right? And he says, let me just put it this way. If I lived in the time when Jesus Christ was alive and he had $5,000, things would have ended up differently, right? Which I think is awesome.
I didn't pick up on that, but that was funny.
It's a great line. It's like,
It is a great line.
fucking, that's awesome. That's a badass line.
Mm-hmm.
The subtitles, though, changed it to say, if Joan of Arc lived in this, if I lived in the time of Joan of Arc and she had $5,000, things would have ended up differently. And I was like,
I
what?
guess that could also work. Wasn't she burned at the
Why?
stake?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
being a woman, basically.
Yeah, pretty
She was a
much.
woman with ideas, with thoughts, and she spoke them.
Yeah.
And how dare she? And I
How
get
dare.
that. That's fine. But like,
Pew, pew. Yeah.
what? Like, of all the things, if you're gonna change it and you think Jesus Christ is too racy, okay,
But
you
he
went
is
with Joan
getting
of
women
Arc.
off in the poor for choice of words. But
Easy,
he
easy
he
there, but
is
I think they
helping
all wanted
women
him
in
to get him
their
off,
yeah.
but
He is helping
he
women
wasn't
in
about
their
that
court
life.
cases in this movie. So an example of getting a woman off from being charged with something would be more fitting.
I
But the Jesus
guess.
Christ one is
But
good.
you went from
Yeah, that's
I was
weird.
just like, I
I don't
sat
know
there
why you
like for
would
the
change
longest time
that.
being like, whose idea was that? Is it the captioning company? Is it the streaming company? Is it
I
the movie? And they were like, you know what?
don't
It
know.
used to say Joan of Arc, so let's just put that in. No, I was like blown away. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why? And they went so far as to change the he to she. So like it was intentional. It wasn't a
Oh
typo.
yeah.
It wasn't a
It
mix
wasn't
up. It
like a
was
typo.
intentionally changed the sentence to say Joan of
Hmm.
Arc. What is happening?
Weird.
Ah. There were several instances of that where they would say like I don't know, spirit instead of shit or something.
The
It was really
stallion of
weird.
the Cimarron?
What?
Spirit? You said spirit.
Yeah, like this person
Spirit
has a
is the
lot of
stallion
spirit.
of the Cimarron. Did you
I don't
never
know
watch
what
that
the fuck
movie? It's a
nerd shit you're
musical.
talking about right now.
It's an animated musical. I watched it as a kid. Spirit, the stallion of the Cimarron. You don't
I'm
know
sorry you
that?
had to watch that as a
Shame.
child.
Shame.
I thought
It's
you were
about a
referencing the
horse. A
the
stallion
recent
even.
Beyonce spirit show on Netflix, which is
No, I
it's
did
also
not
about
know
a
that
horse. So maybe it's a remake of the thing that you're
existed.
talking about.
Beyonce made a show about a horse.
Or she sang the opening song. I think it was somehow associated with her. I think she sang the
Huh.
theme song for it or whatever, and then it was just a show.
Interesting.
But whatever. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that
Anyway.
there were like times when they changed the weird words to like really random things. That if you're just reading it, you're like, okay. But if you're reading it and hearing it, you're like, why that?
Why that?
Why?
Odd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Odd.
I think that's really all my notes on this one. I don't have anything else to say except that it was like meh and it was pretty good. And it was like there are things that I love about it and things that I'm like, y'all fucked it
Yeah.
up.
See, I was worried. I thought this was another one you loved, like Moulin Rouge, so I thought it was going to
No,
be a drama.
no, I am not obsessed with
Um,
it. I like it, but I'm not
okay,
obsessed with it.
that's good. Maybe not for the listeners. Maybe they wanted to hear us fight. I'm sure we'll
The
have another one at
drama.
some point where we fight. The only
We could
other
just do
notes
another
I really
episode of Moulin
had,
Rouge.
we could.
We probably have enough to say to do a whole nother episode on
Yeah.
it.
um, in the beginning, when Velma shows up on stage on her own on the act that was supposed to be
Yes.
her and her sister, everyone else handles the choreography and adjusts really well and doesn't really
Yeah.
react to this
Yes.
whole other person being missing from
Right. And
this
he does
performance.
introduce them as the Kelly sisters, Velma
Mhm.
and whatever the fuck her sister's name is.
Yep.
And everybody's like, oh,
Dead
cool, cool.
Kelly.
It's just one person then. Okay, then. Cool.
Yeah.
I do love that Roxy is there that night. And so she's like
Oh,
at
yeah.
the show that Velma Kelly shows up with after
Right.
she killed her sister.
It was very convenient.
Also,
Well, and she does tell
her
Velma at one
rendition.
point, she's like, I was there that night. I'm like, well, why the
Yeah.
fuck would you bring that up?
She's like,
Cool.
it's been months. And I remember that night because it's the night that Velma Kelly offed her sister. Yeah, of course you remember that. You marked that night. She marked it
Yeah,
for
no
two
shit.
reasons. Velma Kelly killed her sister, and she started fucking around with Fred Casely, who was, I'm going to make you a star, kid. You know, like the
Yeah.
stereotypical, like,
You know,
furniture salesman
salesmen
pretending to know
they
people.
do often have that kind of sway and power in nightclubs.
Movie and
maybe in the
music
20s
producers.
they did,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, in the 20s, they didn't have the internet to be like, you're a fucking loser. I don't know
Right.
who you are. It didn't happen. I do think also when I watch the choreography that Catherine Zeta-Jones reproduces for Roxy in the prison, where she's like, "It was me and my sister,
Oh.
we were doing." Then she'd na 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 na, and then I do da 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 da. And I'm watching that, and I'm going, "What part of this is good?" Like,
Yeah, I don't like that.
would I pay money to go see a show? If
It's
there really were
cringy.
two of you doing this, would I pay money to sit the two
Right.
of you doing like the most basic of steps? Like,
Right.
whoever wrote that choreography did not take into account that shit is not fun to watch.
No. Like that was one of my least favorite songs. I mean, like that
It's
who
so hard to
scene
watch.
is just
It's
uncomfortable.
really hard
and
to watch.
awkward. It's
And she's all out of breath, and she's
love
like, "So do you want to like partner with me after all that?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "No,
Fuck no.
that was awful.
No.
I feel like I just want to
Thank
leave
you.
this room."
Right. Let me get the fuck away, please, fast now. Thank you.
No.
Yeah. And the only other note I had
Yep.
was in regards to Tay Diggs, that I feel like one of his
My other
best
boo.
cameos is in New Girl. Have you seen? Did you ever watch New Girl?
Yes.
So he has a
I love
cameo
New
where he's
Girl.
there with Jess, and he talks very calm and deep, and she's gonna go home with him because I forget why. I think it's after a breakup, and she's trying to get laid, and she meets him at the bar, and there's the whole thing. It's really funny. He's great in that.
He is
I like
so
Tay
smooth,
Diggs.
though. He just comes across as like smooth milk chocolate, and I just want to like, lick it up. It's getting racy. I need to stop.
No mind.
But I found that his small part in Rent was the same way. I was just like, damn, we need more screen time for this homeboy. Like, where is he? Bring back our buddy. What's his name in the show?
Benny. Oh,
Benny.
in this, I have no idea. Benny
Yeah,
and
no,
Ren.
no, and Benny is what I was looking for. Yes.
I don't know what Tay Diggs is doing these days. Like,
He
this
has some movies that he
amazing
was
thing.
like the star of. He did do some, but they were like
Yeah.
kind of low budget, like Lifetime style, like psycho
Why
girlfriend coming after me type of plot lines. And I'm like, you're wasting your time, homeboy. You could be doing anything with that face and that voice. You could do anything.
I want him to be in Hamilton as either George Washington or as Burr. I feel like he would be.
He
good
could
in those
totally do
roles.
either one. It's just beautiful stuff happening here.
Yeah.
Big smile, big beautiful teeth. Man. Not enough Tay Diggs in this movie.
Not enough.
Too much
Tay Diggs.
Renee, not enough Tay.
Word.
Tay,
Word.
we're going to hashtag Tay for Renee. Substitute Tay for Renee.
Yep. I
I
like
mean,
it.
it wouldn't work if he was the one in the dress, but I'm just saying,
Maybe that's
like,
what we
more of
need.
him,
Where you
less of
said
her.
Tay, it just inspired me. Maybe we need Taylor Swift to play Roxy Hart. She's had her musical movie debut in Cats.
Here's the thing. Oh God. Oh, that's laughable. That should have gotten her kicked out of pop culture. Period. Like she should have just been
Oh,
like
that's
booted
so
out. Like
bad.
you're not good anymore.
Even the
Everybody agrees that you
Swifties
suck.
couldn't save that movie. Like even they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to go see this.
Just don't. Yeah, they're like, just don't mention it. Just don't. Just don't. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
it.
No.
So
No, Jennifer Hudson's performance of Memories in that movie is really
Jennifer Hudson
good.
sings like a
'Cause
fucking
Jennifer Hudson is
angel from
fantastic.
heaven.
Right.
But she can't save
Everything
that
else
movie.
about that movie is
She can't
dog shit.
save that
I do like
fucking performance.
Jason
that writing.
Derulo as
Jason
was it
Derulo.
Rum Tugger or something.
Yeah, I
And
refuse.
Idris Elba is interesting in there. This isn't a Cats review. We will do a Cats review at some point.
Must
and
we? I think we should to laugh at it.
I think we'll have to watch that and like the filmed Broadway one that's out there.
I watched Cats in New Orleans at this old casino hotel with my grandma and a bus full of 70-year-olds. And I was 16. No,
I'm sure.
Turning 16. I was the only one that was younger than the age 65, for sure.
Makes sense.
It was an experience, but we went to see Cats because that's what she thought I should see. So, yeah,
it had one of the
experience.
longest runs on Broadway. It is not one of my favorites. I did see my season pass started for my season tickets at our theater that does the North American tour, and I saw Aladdin.
I'm jealous.
I did the mini review on the last one. Aladdin was so much better than I was expecting live. Like,
good
things they changed, new songs that were added, I really enjoyed. So if you didn't watch the mini episode in my review, here's my plug. I recommend, if you have the chance, to go see Aladdin, the North American tour production. Is really solid cast and everything. So
very nice.
But I have nothing else to say about Chicago.
All right, then let's wrap it up.
Tapped.
After this, we don't know what musical we're gonna do. We'll talk it over,
it'll be
figure
a
it
surprise.
out. Next month is a long time
It's
away
November.
from now.
It'll be around Thanksgiving when that episode comes out. But there's not really Thanksgiving musicals, so it won't be a topical one.
No. Okay, so you want to do our sign off? We're going to say adios. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep, all that stuff that Rayleigh just said. Also like, comment, share, subscribe. I want to hit, by the end of 2023, I want us to get 50 subscribers on YouTube. That's our target.
So tell your
when
friends.
We're recording this, we're at 38. We need 12 more. So it's like if a third of you talk one person, they don't have to actually watch. We recommend they watch because we think it's fun.
I'm subscribed to a lot of channels on YouTube that I never watch. So
oh yeah, you can.
It's just a button.
You don't have to turn notifications on. Just click that you follow us. You can do it with a Gmail account. It takes like 10 seconds. Do it.
Easy peasy.
Throw us a bone. Make our day. Not in the mafia way. That rhymed. Fun fact. Rhyming at 2:30 a.m.
Next thing he's gonna get a sign behind his head. Make our day, in parentheses. Not in the mafia way.
It's the heart. I can't do the heart with my hands well. Aren't you supposed to do it like, I don't know. But there's another way. People do it a different way. Like yeah, I can't do it like that well. Looks like I'm throwing gang signs.
Anyway, moving on.
Stomp the yard. Anyways.
God. Stomp the yard.
We'll have to do that movie at some point.
Is that the Channing Tatum one?
No, that is Step Up. Step Up is Channing Tatum.
Step Up. Sorry. Stomp the Yard is... Wait, is that Nick Cannon?
I don't know if there's any... No, that's
No, he did drum roll. Drum line. I don't know. They're all so many fucking, like, in late 90s, early 2000s, like, bad dance / group get together and battle it out movies.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely.
We should have a whole, like, series on those. But anyway, going on.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
But
Let's let these
that
people.
was our Chicago review. Thank you for listening, watching, however you chose to consume this. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. And most importantly, don't forget to go down once more.
Peace.
Later.